Curiosity. What are you so curious about? Everything, Mr. Curiosity.
Alrighty, folks, Joe Snedeker here, and my podcast is Mr. Curiosity, and there are two strange people leaving the room right now, leaving only one.
Bye.
Go. The one left is Stacy. Watch how I say this just to bother you. Lange.
I love that. I wish that was the pronunciation.
Why, it sounds so European?
It sounds so European. That's what Andy Palumbo calls me, actually. He calls me Miss Lange.
Does he?
Yeah, and my uncle had he had like a very fancy backyard in San Francisco back in the day.
Oh,
like,
see, wait, you're even getting ahead of this now.
I know. Well, there's history to the Lange pronunciation, and it was called Club Lange.
Oh, my goodness. See, I hit on something here.
Oh, you did.
All right, but it's really Stacy Lange.
Yeah. If you're in Germany, it's Lange.
It is?
Yeah.
Well, that was going to be my next question. What is it? It's German.
It's German. It's like Smith in Germany.
And I was thinking when I saw your name and how it's kind of Stevens now with the marriage.
Yeah.
If I were a female, I think I'd be a feminist. Like, do you feel like...
Well, you can be a feminist as a man as well.
Can you?
Absolutely.
I'm a feminist.
We'll recruit
then.
you to the team.
It's just like, how dare... It would bother... Here's what goes on in my brain, and here's how ill I can be. Mm-hmm. When I see a woman, and my wife is one of them, and they insist on having their maiden name as their middle name. So my wife is Dawn.
That's what I
Phillips,
did as well.
Snedeker.
Yeah. I'm
like, come on. But yet, if I were a woman, I'd be like, I'm not taking your name, man. Come on. Well, I'm me, so I can't resolve this.
Yeah, I mean, there's something sort of, I think, I'm a feminist for sure, but I also am a traditionalist, and there's something romantic, I think, about sharing a name with your spouse, whatever that name is. If you choose one, I don't care, or you take his name or whatever.
Right.
So I think I love that we're the Stevens family, and I have the same last name as my son, and that makes us a unit, and that's great. But I also worked really hard, and I think my generation of women, we had careers and whole lives before we got married, and I built a brand, a name for myself as Stacy Lange, so I still want to be that. I think I have the best of both worlds, that I am Stacy Stevens on paper,
okay, right.
But every day I get to say Stacy Lange, and that's, they're my two identities.
Yeah, and that makes total sense to me.
Yeah.
But imagine yourself now a man. Mm-hmm. Right? And what if, for whatever reason, things were reversed? A man gets married in American culture, and then he takes the woman's last name, and his name disappears. That sounds like ridiculous.
Well, yeah, you're right when you look at it that way.
Sure.
Because most of human history, women were property.
I know. But what's the answer? Let's say you created a new last name. That doesn't work either.
No,
we're a family now.
Because lineage is important.
I know.
Too.
So there's like no way around this.
Yeah.
And how about your children? Are they going to include your maiden name and then their new?
I know some people have done that.
And then when does it end? You got 3, 4, 5 names.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good...
It's a conundrum.
Is there going to be a new tradition? I don't know what the tradition will be. That's a good question.
Well, I like how you figured out that I'm a feminist. I'd never realized that, but I truly am. All right, so I always like to start by letting everyone know we have the bell here.
Okay. What's that mean?
That means... Oh, you haven't listened to any of these. That's all right. I'm not offended.
I've listened to a few of them. I feel like I should have listened to more to prepare for this.
No. If I say anything that you are uncomfortable with, you don't even respond. You just... And then I move right on.
Okay.
There's the bell.
Hopefully it won't be used.
No, I was going to say, I don't think we need that. But this could be a bell question already.
Okay.
We start out with the year of your birth. Oh.
I don't care.
Oh, good. All right.
1988.
Oh, see, I'm getting perspective. Okay, so
I have a really cool birth date.
Why?
It's 7/7/88.
7/7/88. That is good. So a summer baby.
That. Yep.
And born in Lackawanna County.
Not born, actually.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I was not born in Lackawanna County, but I was raised. I was born outside of Baltimore.
Really?
Yeah.
So now we have to hear about the parents. I got to hear this.
Yeah. So my mom is originally from Maryland, lived in Maryland her whole life. My dad is from Pennsylvania, and he moved to Baltimore for his first job out of college.
Where was he from in Pennsylvania?
He's from Allentown.
Wait, so you have... you have no direct ties
I do have direct ties. As we say, all roads lead to NEPA. Both of my paternal grandparents are from this area.
Oh, okay.
My dad was raised in Allentown, goes to Baltimore after college. He went to Penn State. meets my mom. They fall in love, get married, have me and my brothers. And then my dad gets a job.
She dissolves her name.
Yeah, she does. And we have different perspectives on that tradition. She loves being a Lange.
Okay.
And I was 6, I think, when my dad got a job at Thompson Consumer Electronics, which many people in Lackawanna County will remember, the RCA plant in Dunmore. So we move up here. My mom says that her claw marks were going up 81 because she didn't want to come up here.
She did not want
to. No. And
why? Did she hear things or just she didn't want to
Well, I think she was happy in Maryland, and to her, Scranton was this tiny little town who would want to be there. And we came up here. We have extended family here because both of my grandparents were raised in this area. My dad spent a lot of his childhood here. So that was part of the reason why it was attractive to come here as well. And we never left. And we love it.
So do you have any memories of this, the move? Like you're 5, 6
I was
years
6.
old?
Yeah, so I remember it pretty well.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. Like, here we go. Got the big minivan, maybe. I don't know.
I remember having an epic fight with my mom on the day that we moved in to our new house because the movers accidentally let our cat escape. And that was it was devastating to me. And my mom was the closest adult. And
what do you mean, the cat was gone forever?
The cat was gone forever. We never found her again.
So help me out because I never used movers. You hire someone and they bring a truck to your house. And they take the furniture, and you're not with them. They take it, and it's off. And you shove a cat in the process?
Well, no, the cat wasn't in the movie truck. I don't know where.
I was going to say, how did the cat get in the movie?
I don't remember that detail. I don't remember where the cat was.
I'm a part of the move, you know? I never, had someone move my stuff.
The cat was in the house, the new house, and when they were moving the furniture in, the cat got out.
I think it's your fault for putting the cat in the furniture.
Probably was my fault, but I blamed it on my poor mother. And I remember screaming at her saying, "You made us move here. Now my cat is gone." Here. And the poor woman didn't want to be there herself. So
here's a little 6-year-old girl you remember arguing with your mother about the cat
memories of that
ran away. That's excellent. So this is decades ago.
Yeah.
The cat's gone. Mm-hmm. I hate to tell you. Maybe there was hope up until
we put an ad in the Penny Saver and looked for for a long time, but she was in the wind.
Okay.
I like to think that she found a new family, didn't get run over by a car immediately.
So we can basically pick up, I think, now in Clark Summit.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yes.
So your dad, what does your dad do at Thompson? Is he like an electrical?
He was a mechanical engineer.
Whoa, big shot.
Yeah, very smart man.
Where did he go to college?
Penn State.
Penn State.
Penn
You
State
did tell me
University.
that in your story. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Very proud Penn State grad. We all are big
So
Penn
is he
State
one
fans.
of these, like when you say mechanical engineer nerdy types? He's got the pocket protector. He wants order and structure in the house. Mm-hmm. He's logical.
Very logical, but very fun. And he used his strengths, his smarts for fun. Like I tell this story a lot, but my brother was a Boy Scout growing up, and when it came time for the Pinewood Derby.
Okay, I've done it. Yep.
My dad went full on scientist.
Oh, he's one of those guys.
Yes,
all right.
And it was perfect. He tested the weights. He did it with my brother. My brother did some of the work, and it was perfect. He swept the Pinewood Derby that year because my dad used physics.
It's unfair though when the dads do all the work in these Pinewood Derbies, especially
but it always worked to my
engineer.
advantage. So we had to build a house in 3rd grade. It was like a project. We had to build a house or a building that exists in Clark Summit. We had to build one. So we built a 2-scale version of our house.
And your dad did that too. And you did. You
I
did
think
nothing.
I
He did
it.
all. Yeah.
That's it.
You know what? Let's interview this guy. That's what I want. Okay. Forgot about you. This guy. All right. So you're in Clark Summit. You're in elementary school. Your cat's gone. Mm-hmm. You start all over. I guess at that point you were only in kindergarten, maybe first grade before that?
First grade.
So did you what kind of friends do you have in first grade? You didn't probably.
I had a really, really close friend who lived on the other side of the cul-de-sac that I had to leave, and we are still very close friends to this day. I talked to her yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And that is a testament to my parents for making sure we maintain that friendship, because a 6-year-old couldn't maintain a friendship over that distance. But
you're right.
They made sure we stayed in touch.
You should ask her about the cat, because maybe she'll have some clues.
She has it or had it this whole time. Kristen.
I think that's the biggest discovery maybe of this whole podcast is that your parents, Mr. Logical Dad, sent a cat with a mover in a truck. As a matter of fact,
I'm going to ask my mom about where the cat was.
I'm going to call the Humane Society now. There could have been some type of...
He didn't like the cat, so that's very plausible that he may have engineered its end.
Listen, of course, there are a lot of stereotypes. That one is pretty prevalent. I've had to deal with this my whole life. My mother-in-law has cats. My daughter had a few cats. All the females in my world like the cats.
Yeah.
And I do not like cats. My sons do not like cats.
But do the cats like you?
I
find that cats are attracted to the people who don't want them around.
We need to do
and that's why
I'm sure there's been study does, but what are you...
Sophisticated. They're like such cool animals.
They're so... Here's the story of my cat, and then we'll move on.
Please.
When my daughter got this cat, I was trying to be friendly with it. It would follow me around when I'm having a sandwich. Fine, I'm a giving guy. I would break off a little piece of sandwich, put it on the floor, and then the cat would look at the food, look up at me, bat its eyes, and walk away. From that moment on, I was done with cats. Mm-hmm. How dare you? You want something from me, I'm sharing, and then you bat your eyes and walk away. What's it thinking?
Well, I love the saying, dogs have owners, cats have staff.
I know, that is...
They believe that they could kill us at any moment.
That's the thing, I know. And then I would take naps on the couch, and I would wake up, and it would just be looking
staring
at
me.
You. Like, what? I come home from work, I flip my dog over, rub his belly. I'm not doing that with the cat.
No.
It would hate. I tried, as a matter of fact.
They would claw your eyes out. Yeah.
Anyway, so your cat's gone. You're in Lackawanna County. You're in elementary school, Abington School District, public school girl.
Yep. I went to Grove Street Elementary.
I would think high-class private school for you.
Oh, no. No.
Come on, the Lange, the
Langes. I know the name is misleading. No, we were public school kids.
Okay.
Love the Abington School District. I live there now.
Yeah, and I mean, that's one of the areas, not that we're trying to, judge these districts, but everyone loves the Abington School District.
Yeah.
Well presented.
Yeah, I got a great education there. It was a good community, a great place to grow up. I think anywhere in northeastern central Pennsylvania, you're going to have an idyllic childhood. It's a good place to...
I think you are correct. I love it. I love it. You are correct about that, but a lot of people... take that for granted, I think.
I think so, too. Yeah.
So when you compare, you can't really compare your previous life to your new life, even when you were 6, 7, 8 years old, right?
Yeah, after we moved to Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
No, I can't. I mean,
what do you know when you're 4 or 5 years old, right?
No.
You don't have much there. But you like to hear since you were a kid.
Yeah, and I don't think my parents, one of the things my dad said, one of the negatives about moving here, he told my mom, is that if we move to Scranton, your kids are not staying there. Because, what he saw was what his cousins experienced, is that, there were bigger, better things outside of this area, so they all left. And then the opposite happened. We moved here, and now I have 2 brothers. We're all here, and we've built lives here, and we have no reason to leave.
Ooh, so let's talk about that.
Yeah.
So your mom did what? And then the 2 brothers at the time, how old were they? What's going on? What did your mom do?
Well, my youngest brother was not born yet. My mom was another reason. My poor mother, when we moved from Baltimore, she was, I guess, 6, 7 months pregnant with my youngest brother.
Oh, see, that's a big part of the story.
Yeah. And then my brother David was 2 when we moved up. So he has no memories of Maryland.
Let's put yourself...
I can see that now as a mom now that my mom had to pack up a house. She was 6, 7 months pregnant.
Send a cat
had
in a
2
box.
little kids. Send the cat in the box.
Pregnant.
Yeah, maybe they had no choice but to throw the cat in the back of the moving van.
A husband with a new job. Yeah.
And me with my attitude, yelling at her, telling her she ruined my life. She's a saint.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what did she do? She was...
My mom was a wonderful, amazing stay-at-home mom until all of us were school age. And then she went to the Abington Heights School District, worked as a teacher's aide for a number of years. And then she moved to the business office because her background is in bookkeeping, and she's the payroll officer for the school district.
So she waited till you guys were all a little older.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was in 6th or 7th grade, I think, when she went back full-time. And she retires from that job in the business office at Abington Heights in about 2 weeks.
Whoa.
Yeah, so I'm very proud of her.
Happy retirement, Mom. This will be out Monday or a little bit before.
I can't wait for it myself.
Why?
It sounds great. Doesn't it sound?
Okay.
Doesn't retirement sound amazing? You like to go.
Gosh, I really don't have that answer. I don't know. I really don't, because
we're both lucky we love our jobs.
Right.
Yeah.
And the only thing worse than working is not working. Did you ever just have an extended period where you have no job, no obligations? I mean, but try it. It gets old quick.
Yeah. I probably would get a job.
Yeah, you got to do something, even if it's volunteering. Anyway, so there you are in the Abingtons. I'm told now we can skip to your middle and high school years.
Yeah, there wasn't anything significant there.
Miss Comet.
Oh, geez. Yeah. I'm proud Miss Comet 2005.
Now, all right, so that's the marching band thing.
Yeah.
Now, help me out here. There's the bell. You have okay.
Let's talk about Miss Comet.
No, you have stereotypes. You have nerds. You have jocks. You have marching band people. I don't know where I fall into any of those things, but were you the marching band type? Do you want to say?
Yeah. I was.
But how do you stereotype? What is a marching band type?
We were the music kids.
Okay.
Yeah. The cool thing about Abington when I was in high school, I don't know if it's still like this, is that there were lockers in the music wing, and if you took music classes, you could have your lockers in that special area. So that was one of the perks, is that if you took music classes, you and all your friends could have your own private little locker area. I mean, we loved the music too, but that was one of the perks.
Yeah, but when you say you love the music, is that how you got into it? Did you play a musical instrument?
I was in the orchestra. I played violin.
See, this goes back to the Lange thing. I mean, you are a classy girl, well-educated.
I am. Also, this is a tangent. I'm a direct descendant of Franz Schubert. You know who that is?
This podcast is done. No, but it just sounds too elitist for me. Franz Schubert, who is he?
Franz Schubert, he is a composer. He's a Austrian composer, I think, who composed Ave Maria, if you've heard of that.
Get out of here. Now, what do you mean direct? This is just how many removed?
He is an ancestor of mine.
That is awesome. On your dad's side, I bet?
On my dad's side, on the German side. And we found my aunt, she did all the work, on Ancestry.com, a book that was written by one of my Lange cousins, great cousins. Franz Schubert came to Wayne County to visit his cousins, my cousins, in like the late 1800s.
You see this classiness that we get on the Mr. Curiosity podcast.
So you think I'd be like some kind of musical savant, but I wasn't.
I'm sure. You're being
I was
humble.
in it for the lockers.
You know what? You talk about my history. I got coal miners and beer drinkers in it. This is what's going on here. That's where it ends. Okay?
That's fun too, though. A lot more fun than Ave Maria, maybe.
But the funny hats.
For Miss
clothes.
Comet,
No, but all those things that the band people have to wear.
Yeah.
I always used to, and don't hate me, laugh at that.
Well,
now, what am I missing?
Blame you. It's so much fun. It's it's just like being on a sports team. You belong to a group.
But doesn't it come off as a little why do I have to put on Here's my example.
Have you worn one of those hats?
Well, I was
There's a power associated with it. Also, I got to wear the sequined outfit and white Nancy Sinatra boots.
And you liked all this. You didn't.
I loved it.
Even as a girl going through, say, puberty at the time, you didn't think this is something. And I bring up puberty because I was a Catholic altar boy.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was going 13 and then 14, and you go through puberty, and I'm like,
it's such a weird time.
Why am I wearing this stuff? And I was embarrassed of being an altar boy, and I had to get out. You know what I mean?
I was really lucky. I think I would have been inclined to worry a lot more about what people thought of me in those years if it weren't for the friends that I had.
Because they were all in it too, maybe.
They were all in it too,
right.
And I had other people wearing funny hats with me who backed me up and loved me no matter what. So
well, I'm not trying to shame you or say anyone listening out there in the band should be shamed. I'm just saying that's my. That's the
stereotype.
Yeah, that's the stereotype, that it's kind of nerdy, and why would you wear those
But band kids, even into adulthood, are very passionate about being band kids.
And they should be.
Yeah.
who am I to speak? I'm a nerd myself, so I don't mean it in that way. I'm just saying these are the stereotypes.
Sure.
You know? Just like the jock have their stereotypes, right? You want to mention some of those, or you don't want to do that? Give me some jock stereotypes.
Jock stereotypes?
Yeah, like what if I told you I was the...
that they're bullies.
Bullies and
Yeah.
maybe not too smart, and they just like to lift weights and grunt.
Right.
Right, yeah.
And we're more sophisticated than them. So
Yeah.
that would be a judgment I would pass on the jock.
There
So
you go.
We're all
See,
in
it
the
go.
same boat.
That's right. It goes many ways. So when you were in the band and Miss Comet and all this stuff in high school, were you already thinking, I want to be an or an engineer like my dad?
Oh,
Were
I
you-
know.
Did
I know.
trigonometry and calculus
None
come
of that,
easy to you?
none of that
No?
came easily to
It
me.
did not.
No.
So you were never in that direction.
I was always in some sort of. I think if I were to boil it down to what I liked to write it, and I like to tell stories, and I still do that. I just had to. I didn't know then at that point how I wanted to do that, but that's what I was
the
passionate
arts,
about.
I guess you would say,
Yeah.
the language arts and the arts.
Yeah.
Then you knew
I
this
love
is
words and reading and writing.
and the sciences never interested. you.
No, because it never came naturally to me. It's hard.
And how about your brothers?
My brother David is very much like me. We're right-brained people.
Okay.
And my brother Patrick, I think, is more of a left-brained person. Math and science came more naturally to him. He's a carpenter, and he's very
Oh,
works
yes,
with
the
his hands.
builders are
Yeah.
very logical.
Very logical.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So he got a little bit more of my dad, and David and I are more right-brained creatives types.
So there you are, a senior. It's
2006.
2000. I was gonna say 5, 6,
Yeah.
and now you're taking the SATs. You're trying to get a career. Syracuse is on your mind from the start.
Yeah. My dad wanted me to go to Penn State in the worst way. But he said, I just want you to love college as much as I did at Penn State. And I just was always attracted to Syracuse. I knew at that point that I wanted to go into the communications field. I didn't know journalism was it yet, but I was really attracted to the media and journalism program at Syracuse. And I knew I wanted the big school experience. I wanted the sports and all that stuff that comes along with being at a big university like
Did
that.
the potential climate change bother you when you're going north and you think it's going to be colder
The
and
day we
snowier?
went to go tour it the first
was that
time,
a choice?
It was October. It was probably like mid-October, and it was a gorgeous fall day here in Pennsylvania. And we were driving up 81. The fall colors are beautiful.
Yeah.
I was wearing sandals.
Okay.
And we get to Syracuse, and it was snowing.
Welcome to the Lake Effect Band.
Yeah. That's the weird thing about Syracuse is that it snows every day in the winter.
Sure it
Even
does.
just a little bit.
Only when
Yeah.
there's a northwest wind, but
Well, I
yeah,
know.
yeah, it's a whole different world. But it becomes part of a lifestyle. So what's with you? All the listen, because I have zero background in journalism or writing or anything like that, as you know.
Yeah.
What's with you, journalists, communication people, and this Syracuse obsession? Is that
Well,
they just have that reputation?
it's
Maybe
the
like Penn
Newhouse
State does
School.
meteorology.
Sure. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's they have the Newhouse School of Public Communications. It is a renowned communications
It
school.
sure is.
Yeah. It has some pretty fancy alumni. Ted Koppel, Bob Costas, Dick Clark went to Syracuse. A lot of the greats of the great TV age. So it just
then
has
why
this
not?
reputation.
Yeah, why not go where the greats have come from in this place of esteemed reputation?
Yeah,
right?
it has, and you learn from my professors weren't academics; they were all former reporters. Sometimes some of them current reporters.
Oh, interesting. So you
Yeah.
had a great time there.
A great time, loved it.
Were you at the time thinking, what is that, a 3-hour drive?
About 2.
2? Okay.
Yeah.
Were you thinking at the time, I don't want to go that far, I want to go
Yeah,
farther?
that was something too.
You did.
Yeah, I'm a homebody.
You have Marywood right here. You have the University of Scranton.
I'm not that much of a homebody.
Yeah, okay, so you don't want to stay there.
I like the idea of being able to come home on the weekend if I wanted to.
So you had a great time there.
Great time.
Party girl.
Loved it.
Party girl.
Loved it.
Party girl.
A bit of a party girl.
I'm hitting that. She's not.
Yeah.
You're
We're not gonna go there.
You're coming home at 4 in the morning on Saturdays. You're sleeping till 3. You're hungover. You've got
That's the time
clothes
to
hanging
do it,
from
right?
the chandelier.
It's such a weird time. You are on your own for the first time. Your brain's not fully developed. What a wild time.
Dorm,
Strange
roommate. No
So, funny
female
story.
likes their first roommate ever.
I loved my first roommate. I'm going to her wedding on Saturday.
Oh my God.
Yeah. She is
So
one
much
of my
for
best
my
friends.
lousy theory.
Yeah. No, most people, it's have horror stories.
Have horror
about
stories.
their-
And I hate to say it, I think more for females because, I don't know, it's harder for two women maybe to get together than two guys just like whatever.
Right, they're a little bit more easygoing.
Right,
but
but-
yeah,
so
no,
you
we
did get outta
hit
here.
it off, and we lived together all 4 years, and we're still
Oh, that's awesome.
we're still really, really close friends.
And here
Yeah.
comes the wedding.
And her wedding.
And you
want
want to go.
Of course.
Of course.
I wouldn't miss it. She's my
can't
girl.
relate. All right.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. I
So-
tease my husband all the time and say Tara's still the best roommate I ever had.
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right. So you're making connections. You're a senior. You're at Syracuse. Be honest now.
Mm-hmm.
What were you thinking in terms of career? Were you thinking, I want to move away. I want to come back home. I want to go out west.
Well, Channel 16 was always on my mind.
It was?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I didn't expect that to happen as quickly as it did, and I did have a job before this one. But I knew that
so really?
I knew growing up in this area that we had a gem here.
So if you go back to the 90s, you were a faithful watcher
Oh, yeah.
of WNEP.
Yeah, I grew up in a very news consumer household. We watched a lot of news, and yeah, I grew up watching Channel 16.
Oh, that's excellent. So
Yeah.
you had that on your radar the whole time.
Yeah, but I was also I applied to stations all over the country, and ended up in Watertown, New York, was my first market, which
Okay,
is
so-
only an hour north of Syracuse.
I was
so
gonna
I
say,
never
so you-
really went that far.
Yeah, so, I mean, there's another lake effect.
No, it's even worse up there.
Town,
yeah,
yeah.
There's one town. It's called Lowville, New York, where they don't plow in the winter because everybody has a snowmobile, and you just take your snowmobile to school and work.
Oh,
Yeah.
goodness. Thankfully, I'll never realize that type of a situation. But so this first job, because I'm going through this now with my daughter.
Yeah.
Were you just like, cut loose, go ahead, get an apartment,
Right?
you're on your own, you don't know
Wild.
anybody? It's awkward.
It's wild. I also
It's
thought
horrifying.
that adjusting, we were just talking about going to bed at 3 a.m. and waking up for an 8 a.m. class, and college is so chaotic and you're so tired all the time. I was never more exhausted than the first few months of adjusting to a 9 to 5.
Is that right?
Yeah.
But you were
hours
up
a
there
week
by
is
yourself
exhausting.
with no friends or
I had a
anything?
roommate, another girl who was a reporter at the same station that we went to Syracuse together. We lived
so
together.
at least you had that.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
was it intimidating and nervous? Grocery
abs-
shopping, car
absolutely.
repairs, whatever?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And how long did that last?
I was only there for a little over a year until I had an opportunity to come here.
So for that year, did you hate it, love it? Was it what you thought? Were you...
I loved it. I learned more in my first year on the job than I did in 4 years of college. And I loved Syracuse.
so
But that on-the-job training was invaluable. And it was a great station, and it's a small market, so everyone I worked with, they have some people who have been there a really long time who are really talented and really good at training journalists, because that's
Okay.
what they do in small markets, And they trained us well, and I was with a team of people who were fresh out of college, too. We had a lot of fun, and,
Oh, that's good. So a good experience. And then
Great
you
experience.
thought, I'm going to step on this foundation
yeah.
and build my new life at WNEP.
Yes, I snuck in here.
You snuck in, and this was 2010, 11, I think?
11, yeah.
2011. And so, wait. So do you know the person you replaced?
I do. Yeah, her name is Kenna Vernon.
I remember Kenna Vernon.
Yeah.
All right,
She left, and I forget where she went. But my first job here was out in Williamsport at the Central PA
was.
newsroom. Yep.
What about that first day? Do you remember, like, here's the place you grew up with and you wanted to work, that interview when you came in the building?
My interview day, I showed up, and I was wearing the same exact dress as Marisa Burke, and I freaked out. I was so excited.
Now, how could that be?
Well, it was a Calvin Klein dress that I got at Marshall's, and she must have bought it too.
I never understand your gender. I don't even know what that means. So
Well,
the
I
same.
was like, Marisa Burke has the same dress as me.
And
So
that
when
was
I
a good
watched
thing? I thought that would be a horrible thing.
It was a little awkward.
Yeah, you
I don't
have
know
to-
that she even noticed that I was here because
Oh,
I was
okay,
just
right,
doing
right.
my interview. But I was like,
and did you think it went well?
made it.
And you've got it, and this is going to happen, or?
well, I didn't lie. Should I ring the bell? No, I didn't lie. But I say I snuck in here because I literally did. I didn't apply to the job because the job posting said you needed 3 years of experience, and I did not. So I was afraid that if Carl, our esteemed news director, is now retired, saw my resume that said I only had 1 year of experience, he'd just throw it in the trash.
You put 3 on there.
So I called him and I said, hey, and this was true. My brother's graduating from high school and I'm coming into town. I'm a journalist in New York. Can I come and take a tour of the station? And he said yes. And when I showed up wearing the same dress as Marisa Burke, I handed my resume to him and I said I'd like to apply to the job opening. Whoa. And at that point, I'm standing in front of him, so he can't throw it in the trash.
Folks, listen to this. This could be the sneaky way to get in without the interview pressure. So this wasn't even an interview.
It turned into one eventually, but yeah.
It was almost like I want to just take a tour?
That's what I said. I said I wanted to take a tour. And when I came in, this is how long ago it was when you were all switching over to the HD control room when we started broadcasting in high definition. So they were doing practice newscasts in the control room that we know as the control room now. And Julie Sidoni was anchoring these practice newscasts, and I sat there and I watched them for a while, and then Carl and I just chatted.
I wonder if that was a random moment that the universe opened up for you, or would he have done that for many people who said, hey, could I stop by for a tour? Or did he see something in this?
I don't know. I tease our assignment manager, Dave Campbell, a lot because he was very grumpy on the phone the first time I called him.
Dave was.
God bless you, Dave. And I had to call a couple times to actually get through.
Persistence. There's another lesson that we need to learn here.
So if I had given up because Dave Campbell was grumpy, would I be here today?
No. Be persistent, lie a little bit, and never send your cat alone in a box with a mover.
These are life lessons from Stacy Lange.
So when you got here and then eventually hired, was it what you had thought?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was a lot of work.
A lot of work.
And
you started as a reporter, of course.
I started as a reporter out in Williamsport. And I was only there for a few months, but during those few months, I was there for 4 months, I think. And one of those months was September of 2011, which is a month I'll never forget because we were there for the flood, and we were wall-to-wall broadcasting for. It felt like 24 hours.
Yes,
I can't remember how many hours it was.
That's right.
And then right after that, in late October, maybe early November of 2011, Jerry Sandusky was arrested.
Whoa. So
and I was out there for that.
Yeah.
So I was really thrown in the fire.
You're inside of the media pinball machine.
Yeah. Yeah, plus you have the added pressure, I wonder if you felt this way, of when I was in New York, no one I know saw it. But now all my family and everyone I've ever known my entire life is watching me too.
I had that problem when I started too because my kids see me as their dad, and then now here's this goofy guy on TV, and it's tough to resolve.
How did they deal with that growing up?
Listen, this is your interview, not mine.
As a mom, I'm very concerned about that. I don't want my son to resent me.
It's a double life. I know, and your relatives and everybody. You just say it's showbiz. You're two different people, like everybody is. When you meet relatives that you haven't seen in a while or new friends, you put on a different face. Everybody does that.
True.
Everyone's different.
True.
You can't be the same for all people. But I was wondering about the MMJ thing. Did that just evolve recently in the last 10 years?
Yeah.
For those listening, multimedia journalists, now this is the trend in TV. They want someone who can work the equipment, who can work the camera, who is a talented writer, a field producer, a one-man woman band who does
that's
everything.
What we call it, one-man banding.
But were you trained in that then?
Sure,
I
was. My first job, I was a MMJ.
But did that come of age when you were in college? I think before that it wasn't even. It just started, right?
It was just starting. Yeah. And I remember my professors leveling with us and saying this is something that you're going to.
This is how it is.
Have to deal with.
You got to do it all. Set your own camera up. Set your own sound levels. Do everything.
Right.
And did that discourage you in any way? Or?
No. And there's part of me that really likes shooting and having full control.
Right, being your own person.
Yeah.
No politeness in the car. You're just alone.
Now, I was blessed that for 10 years I worked with the same photographer here. And because we had that consistency now, I think there's such a value in two people working on the same story. too.
Yes, you
bring
get
in different perspectives.
I get that same thing in Wham Cam. Like, why don't you do this and say that? I'm like, I never thought
It makes it better.
It makes it better. Usually it makes it better. It's the Lennon and
We're
McCartney
a collaborative
effect.
industry.
You got that right.
Yeah.
So now in the 10 years, 11 years that you've been here, and we're going to get to this when we answer some folks' questions, but this is a common thread in all the questions. What do you like better? So is it, because I don't know these things. I was never a reporter or an anchor on air. Is it seen as a pathway to become an anchor? You start as a reporter,
I think that's I think that's a stereotype. Is that
like you start as a reporter and end up as an anchor. But do you like being a reporter just as good?
I love being a reporter. I'm happy if I'm writing, so I like doing both. I have the best of both worlds now. I report a little, I anchor a little. As long as I'm writing, I'm happy. I do think that the days that I'm out in the field and I'm reporting, like, my blood's pumping. It's exciting.
Yeah.
The day goes by faster. It's
but
you're an
it's
eyewitness
harder,
to things.
probably,
it's
right?
cool.
It's more taxing.
Physically,
That's the problem. So your brain can't resolve. I can have this cushy job where I just walk in a warm building all year round, winter, cool building in the summer, sit down and do this. It's simple, it's easy, but it may not be as rewarding, but it's cushier.
It's cushier, but also, like, this is a really exciting place to be in the newsroom when there's news happening.
In the newsroom?
Yeah.
But you can get that excitement out in the field.
You can. You can.
But so you don't want to pick?
I like a little bit of both.
A little bit of both?
Yeah, I don't want to have to pick.
Pick!
Also, when you're anchoring, you kind of feel like the team captain, like, because everyone's worked together to put together this newscast, everything you see on TV. And then it's my job to, and that's a skill that you have mastered of, like, it's so hard to be sitting in that chair or sitting in front of that green screen, but feeling or presenting your information in a way that you also feel like you're just sitting down in someone's chair in their living room.
You got to see You got to see it from their perspective.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. I don't have that skill, I don't think.
You absolutely do.
Okay.
You're one of the best at it.
That's news to me. But as we kind of come to an end here, I want to get to some of these questions from the people. But I had something very detailed on my mind, and I want to ask you on that subject, and now I lost it. Was it anchored? I was going to say, you have such a soothing, you probably hear this all the time, welcoming voice. It draws you in. What is that? It's
Thank you. I don't know.
I feel like, Mommy, read me a story.
I was always really self-conscious about my voice because I had a lower voice when I was a kid.
And
I came of age when Paris Hilton was famous and everyone wanted to sound like her and have a voice like this and say and I had this deeper voice that I was always really
I see what you're saying.
Embarrassed by.
It's not deep. It's something else. It's soothing.
Thank you.
It's soothing and warm and welcoming and honest and true.
Thank you. I also sit next to Mike Stevens and I study the way he talks.
Oh, yeah, he's got that too. He's got the masculine version of yours. All right, so Ryan wants to know what her favorite Odyssey of the Mind problem was. See this?
Is this Ryan Bolton?
Yes. Who's he?
He's a good friend of mine. We did Odyssey of the Mind together. What did he ask?
What your favorite problem was? Mind problem. I don't even know.
So do we want to go down the Odyssey of the Mind rabbit hole?
Could you do it quick? Could you do a 10-second version?
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's a creative problem-solving competition that I've participated in since I was 11 years old, and I'm still part of it today. Nerdy. I'll say it loud and say it proud. I don't need the bell. It's nerdy. It's also awesome and so much fun.
I know Mindy's kids did it. So is this an Abington's thing or to let us go?
No, it's throughout. It's global, but it is very robust in northeastern Pennsylvania. Ryan, the gentleman who's asking that question, I did it all through high school. Yeah, and Ryan and I sit on the regional board now for it, and he competed for Delaware Valley. Yeah, we were competitors. Nerds.
See, I can make fun of nerdy stuff like that because
you are also a nerd.
Because I had a weather station in my backyard when I was a kid.
I think that's worse.
And still do, so that's nerdier. All right, everyone loves your picture, love your hair. You do have great, full, model-like hair.
Thank you.
All right, how does your... Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Adele says... how does your cat get along with the baby? So you have a new cat now.
I have a new cat.
This is not the cat we were talking about.
I actually have two cats. And I would say that they get along might be a little too warm. They tolerate him.
course, because cats don't care about anyone but themselves.
Right.
That's
They've never attacked him, but they also don't like him.
The baby is not going to like the cats. I'm telling you right now.
My husband doesn't like them either.
No.
So.
See, there's another man who's not liking the cats.
Yeah, sorry. We're stuck with them.
All right, I'll be waiting for the broadcast, says Lenny. I worked with your father at Thompson.
Yeah.
What a nice man.
Yeah, that was really nice to
there
hear.
You go. All right, does she still think it's okay, I like this question, for a journalist to use improper grammar when writing or speaking? Because sometimes, you know how that goes? It's you can be too proper.
You can be too proper, and I think not just us journalists. I think like culturally there are some rules that are starting to fade into the background because language has always evolved. If it didn't, we'd still speak like Shakespeare.
Exactly, right.
So language
or those
evolves.
letters from the Civil War, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's got to evolve, but I do think that grammar should be very, very important to us.
Right, you got to find.
No one takes us seriously if we're not speaking correctly.
Yeah, you can't be using double negatives or hannah or nose or anything.
No hannahs or nose.
No hannahs or nose. Ro wants to know, although this is only once in a while, she's not going to be honest here, Ro, who's asking this question. How do you like working with Snedeker?
I love it.
There you go.
That's honest. We don't work together very often.
But when we do, I love it.
I enjoy it.
And I love filling in at noon and working with you, too.
Yeah.
This was the question. Do you like being anchor or a field reporter? So you already answered that one. Stace, you have such a charming smile. It makes you such a great anchor. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
So there you go.
We
All
have
right.
such
How
kind
long
viewers.
have you worked there? And is Joe really a joker at all times? So you've been here 11 years.
Mm-hmm. And I can say yes, wholeheartedly. You just said you lived a double life. I have not seen that. I have not seen the other Joe Snedeker. You are who you are. People ask me that all the time. What's it like working with Snedeker? You are who you are, and that is such a gift.
Oh, you're so kind. Question for Stacy. Oh, this is good. This is good. In a time where it seems like there's a little bit of a mass, I'm making this part of the question up, exodus from WNEP.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of that's coincidence. We have a lot of people who are older
it is coincidental.
and leaving for various reasons, including retirement. But she's not going to answer this. I'm going to give her the bell right now. Are you sticking around WNEP, or are you looking to upgrade at a bigger market?
I'll answer that question because I'm very passionate about the answer to that question. No, I'm not going anywhere. I'm sticking around.
Oh, I love it.
And, hopefully, that's up to WNEP ultimately in the long run. But I don't have any plans to go anywhere. Did I have ambitions 11 years ago of moving to a bigger city? Sure, I did. But I found a home here. And you know this, that I love my job and I get to do it every day. But what's really important is the people you come home to at the end of the day. And I have that. I've got my family near me. We have a great life. Why would I leave that?
We can't end on a better note.
No.
Yeah, you can't. It's everything in life is a scale. Do you want to make $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 in a big market, but you don't have grandma for the kids around? You're living in some area where you don't know anybody. There's no friends. There's no acquaintances. There's no.
Yeah.
It's a busy traffic. You have obligations. Or do you want the warmth of family and friends and colleagues in a place you grew up with, roots?
Right.
Right? Mm-hmm. You got to put a price tag on that,
That's what matters.
too.
You can't take the money with you.
No.
Yeah.
My goodness, I love it. So there's great advice for everyone, and I think this was an awesome
Thank you for
interview.
having me on.
I love having you
You're very good
on.
at interviewing people.
Get out of here. This was great.
You should be a reporter.
I should be a reporter. No, I have no background in journalism. You have all the background in journalism. You do an awesome job, and it was great having you. Let me see if there's anything on my list that I have to end before we say goodbye. Got that one. Oh, yes, this one.
Uh-oh.
What happened to the cat that was sent in the box when you moved?
I don't know. If any of you in Clark Summit acquired a
Just
cat
kidding,
in 1995.
What was the moving company?
It was, I don't want to throw them under the bus because they still exist.
They may have knowledge.
My cat.
The cat?
Yeah.
They may have this. They may have a mounted cat.
I've never forgotten you.
Thanks, Stacy.
Thanks, Joe. This was fun.
Curiosity. What are you so curious about? Everything, Mr. Curiosity.